Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Betcast edition of the Burn It Down podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Allen Jr. With me is my co-host, Mr. Ross the Boss Tatum. We're still working on that cool name for you. But Ross, how's it going this evening?
Going great, Josh. I am ready to talk bets. What about you?
Man, I'm always loving talking some bets. We've been rolling lately. We didn't get the outright last week, but we had some good top fives, couple top tens. I think you might have missed it just a little bit, but hey, as long as one of us is hitting, man, it's kind of like playing golf as a team. As long as someone's striking the ball good, then it's all good, right?
Yeah, Josh, it is, and I'll be honest, I'm a little concerned about this week. I don't know which direction to go. I think I have an idea, but might surprise some people.
All right, all right. Well, let's just jump right into it. We're at Walkins Glen this week. We're going to do a little left and right turns. Um, Last week was a little unpredictable with a wild card at Texas Motor Speedway. Um, so possibly a little bit more predictable, I guess you could call it, maybe this week. It just kind of depends. I know it can get a little crazy with maybe flipping some stages and whatnot, some hectic restarts, and then also Ross, they changed some of the rules in terms of like the track limits. What'd you think about it? All of that.
I'm actually really excited about that. It got to where they were really looping out there pretty far, exit of one. I kind of wish they would
Hmm.
do it to the exit of, I think it's turn 8 out of the
Okay.
carousel. Yeah, I wish
Yep.
they would do it there, but I don't think they did it there. But hey, this is a positive step. I think we saw from Coda. You remember last year when everybody said that if they put tire packs out there, everybody'd run them over. Well, they didn't hit
Hmm.
them in the spring this year, so I think this is a right step by NASCAR.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should be fun. So, well, Ross, I'm gonna jump right into my outrights. I've got three for you this week. The first one, I know it's gonna just shock the world, but you can't ignore him, man. He's got a 1.5 average finish at this track. Runner up in 2024 and our defending race winner in 2025, the road course goat himself, Mr. SVG. I've got him at plus 140. It's not a lot of money you're going to make on him, but man, I mean, you can't ignore him. You cannot ignore this guy. So that's a really safe bet. I will say, Ross, I don't feel as strongly about him as I've done in the past. I don't know if it's just because Trackhouse is so far off right now, but for what Trackhouse is lacking, I feel like SVG can make up as a driver. So
Mhm.
now, in the same token, I will say that I think Walkins Glen is probably the great equalizer in terms of the most familiar, maybe. It's probably the easiest of the road courses to drive for most of the other drivers. So I don't think he's going to just run away with it, but we can't ignore him as an outright. So I've got SVG. And then my other two, Ross, can't ignore this guy either. I know it's probably not his strongest road course, but I'd be dumb if I wasn't looking at Tyler Reddick, man. Tyler Reddick, he won the race at Coda this year. I know it's probably statistically not his strongest road course at Watkins Glen, but with the Toyotas as fast as they are, man, and it's a high speed road course too. I think aero and engine power is going to matter, and you can grab Tyler Reddick at plus 750. So
Mm.
I that's a 7.5 times your money. It's not a bad gamble. And then my last one, Ross. This guy is always solid. He actually beat SVG in 2024. You can't ignore Mr. Chris Buescher at plus 1,600. I
Mhm.
really like those odds for Chris Buescher to go win this weekend. So those are my three, Ross. What do you think?
I really like those picks. But like you said, I'm a little concerned about Zillage and SVG's cars. I think
Uh-huh.
we've seen it throughout the year, but I mean, Trackhouse is way behind right now. And at what point can SVG overcome that, and what point can he not? And I'm worried. I'm truly worried about them. Um, but yeah, I'll go ahead with my outrights. And actually, my number one outright, surprisingly at plus 1,000, is Chris Bell. He's my
Okay.
number one. Again, I'm taking a little bit of a risk on this, on these picks right here. My number two is Chris Buescher. Sorry, pardon my
Uh-huh.
language. plus 1600, like you said. And number
Uh-huh.
3, this one is a surprise, but this man had a lot of speed last year, had a ton of speed at Coda. But it's Ryan Blaney at plus
Okay.
2200.
Yeah.
And the reason I kind of went in that direction is there have been 4 next gen races at Walkins Glen. And
Mhm.
I always take my stats to the next gen era. I don't consider anything before; it's just a completely different era. But there have been 4 different winners, so I'm just going to go with the trend. Um,
Okay.
Now, deep down, I think SVG or Zilich is going to win. Deep down, but I'm just going with the odds. I'm as a low volume better. I don't make a lot of money off of SVG, so I'm kind of avoiding him and just playing the odds.
Yeah, I like it. I'm looking actually, I've got this handy little sheet that I downloaded too, kind of my cheat sheet here.
Nice.
Um, Ryan Blaney, his 4 finishes in the Next Gen Air, 24th, 9th, 38th, and 6th. So I think you throw that 38th out the window because that was the year that he broke his steering and they told him he was out of the race. And that was actually the moment that led to changing the rule, believe it or not. So yeah, I can't remember exactly what happened 2022 with that 24th place, but you throw the 38th place out of the way, and 2 solid top tens. I believe he got the pole there last year as well and led
Hmm.
a majority of the opening stage. Maybe even one that I started watching that last night before I fell asleep. So I like it, Ross. I like it. I'm gonna move to my top fives real quick. We both have them as our outright. I think it's a really safe bet to have Chris Buescher as a top 5 bet. I got him at plus 170. My other 2 guys, this guy, I feel like we don't really talk about him a lot for road courses, but I think he's a really strong road course driver, specifically at Walkins Glen. And like I said, we can't ignore how fast the Toyotas are right now. I've got actually Chase Briscoe at plus 200 in the top 5. I think he's going to run really well this weekend as long as he can stay out of his own way. And then my last guy, momentum means everything. This guy's also a dog at Walkins Glen. Actually got his first career Cup Series win at this racetrack. Give me Chase Elliott for another top 5 at plus 200.
Nice. So I have 4 this week. And I'm doing a lot of stacking this week. You'll notice in my picks. So the
Yeah.
next 2 are top 3s and top 5s, which is Chris
Okay.
Bell and Chris Buescher. I'm just stacking. I'm stacking all the way to the
Sure.
top 5 there, hoping for some
Yeah. Yeah.
hits. Chris Buescher, same odds as you got. Rob Blaney, I got at plus 285. And I also have Kyle Larson. I mean, Kyle Larson at Watkins Glen for plus 235. And like you said, Chase Elliott, that's my other one. Hendrick is, they're starting to find something, I think. So I think that'll be a great track for Larson and Elliott. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of them win. I'm not betting on their outright, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of them got the W this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it, man. I think I like both those bits, especially with I like the stacking. That's a good idea because if you miss one, you might hit another one, right? So
Mhm.
kind of playing the odds there. I'm going to move to my top tens. I've got 4 this week, Ross, for my top tens. I've got AJ Allmendinger at minus 135, so I'm not getting a huge return there, but I love AJ for a top 10. I debated on top 5, but I just think there's too many good cars in there. It's going to be really difficult for him to get to a top 5. Um, could make it happen. AJ's a dog at road courses. He was the man before SVG showed up, and now he's
Mhm.
kind of been pushed to the side a little bit. And then I think a combination of other guys have just gotten better too. So I like AJ for maybe anywhere from that 7th to 11th place, is probably where I'm looking for him to run. Daniel Suarez, I've got at plus 175. I think the Spire cars are firing on all cylinders right now. Daniel seems to be in a good spot mentally as well. So he's kind of been that top 15 pace all year, and he's great at road courses. So I like Daniel getting in the top 10. Um, Another guy that's great at road courses, and this one kind of surprised me, Austin Cindric at plus 330. So
Mm. Yeah.
I think if they maybe strike something with Blaney, maybe they give Austin the same setup, and I like Austin to possibly get inside the top 10 there. I think it's going to be important qualifying. I think if he can qualify well and try to maintain that trap position, this one is a little bit of a long shot, Ross, but this guy is actually a really good road course driver. I want to say he's gotten some win in the truck series. I think he's a little bit under the radar, and it is a little bit of a long shot in a way. But give me Todd Gillen at plus 1,000 for a top 10.
Wow, I actually really like that Todd Gilliland pick a lot. I didn't even think
Hmm.
about Todd. Yeah, great pick
Yep.
there. So my top tens, I have four as well. One, I think three of them will surprise. Well, two of them will surprise you. My number, my first one is Joey Logano at plus 280.
Hmm. Interesting.
Joey has two top tens, has not finished lower than 12th in the next gen at Walkins Glen, from what I have seen. So that's
Wow.
pretty good for him on the road course. So I thought 280 was pretty good. The next one is a big surprise because this guy is a renowned, known as not a good road course racer. He tells us every week he's on the TV or anytime he's at a road course,
Oh,
but it's Bubba Wallace at 550. Um,
okay.
Bubba's been getting better. He's right outside the top 10 normally. So I'm just betting that he might get there this week.
Yeah.
And then on DraftKings, I was surprised by this, but Kyle Larson was negative or minus 110 for top 10. I couldn't believe it. So Kyle Larson, and actually I'm going to add one more, but Michael McDowell was plus 110 on
Okay.
DraftKings. So plus, right there on the line of making pretty, half your money back. So, um, yeah, I mean, to get guys like Larson and McDowell at, those kind of odds, it's pretty hard to pass up.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know, man. I know I shouldn't be worried, but I'm just a little concerned about Larson and the five team right now. It seems kind of like when it rains, it pours with them sometimes. So, and I don't know. It's funny for me to say because I know they ran great at Bristol. They almost won Kansas, so they're right there, and they just had a tough week, last week. But I don't know. He used to be really, really good at Walkins Glen, and maybe it's just because they had some brake issues last year, and then I think it was maybe I'm thinking Sonoma last year too. It's just they seem like they haven't been clicking on all cylinders at the road courses where they used to in the past. But hey, even if he, it's a good place where he can as long as nothing goes wrong, he should run top 10. I would say that. I'd be very surprised. So I like that. Yeah, those are good odds for that.
Yeah.
Ross, I did a little something different this week. I don't know if this is new or maybe just something that I kind of did a deeper dive into, but they have a couple of head to head bets that I liked
Oh,
and I
okay.
wanted to take a look at. So I just pit two of them. The first one, they've got SVG to beat Connor Zillage at minus 180. I like that a lot.
Mhm.
Honestly, and you'll notice, I think a common theme between both of us, we both stayed away from Connor Zilic, and I think it's, I think the books have him a little too high for my liking, to be honest
Mhm.
with you. I mean, gosh, he's like the second, I think second or third favorite to win the race, and I'm like, has this dude even gotten a top 10 in the Cup Series yet? Like, that just seems like really, really high odds, and I know he's an absolute stud, at road course racing, but yeah, I don't know. If you want to bet maybe a top 10 for him, but I don't think the odds are very. I think it was like minus 1,000 for a top 10 or something. So I was surprised at how far his odds were when he hasn't really proven anything yet. So, but I love SVG to beat Connor. I don't see Connor beating SVG unless something crazy happens. Could be wrong, but so I took SVG over Connor Zilic at minus 180, and then my second one is Chris Buescher to beat William Byron at minus 122. So
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
there's a list of them. If you guys want to go check them out on the FanDuel Sports Books, it's the last tab at the bottom under the weekend, and they've got like 5 or 10 different options if you want to check those out.
Nice. Yeah, I really like those. Like you said, I think Connor Zilic is ranked a little too high. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if we've known anything about Connor is that he likes to get in trouble a lot in these road course races, even when he was dominating in the ORAP series. So I do worry about that. And I want to say every road course start he's had in the next gen series, he's found ways to get in wrecks. So yeah, I'm a little suspect of picking him anytime soon until he proves it to me. Um, as for me, I only had one other bet, and it's just a long shot bet, and this is just assuming this guy shows up with great cars because this team is clicking right now. But that is Mike, not this team, but this organization, and that is Michael McDowell as the top Chevy at plus 1,800, and
Okay.
that would take a lot to go right. And
Yeah.
I don't expect to make money on it, but I mean, you can throw $3 or $4 and make
Sure.
pretty good money on that. So that was
Yeah.
my only other bet this week, and it's just because Spire is they got speed right now, one way or the other.
Absolutely.
And now he might not on ovals, but he'll definitely have speed this weekend. And I would say he's a really good pole contender. If anybody does pole bets, I would strongly consider Michael McDowell at Walkins Glen.
Yeah, I like that. Um, Going back one thing to the Connor Zilic thing, I will say, I know oftentimes we recommend, putting these bets down before qualifying for the odds to probably be the best. I would almost keep an eye to do the opposite for Zilic, is maybe let's hold off on putting any bets with him before qualifying, but let's say he has a bad qualifying or misses a corner, maybe he starts 30th or something, then I would consider him for maybe a top 10 at that point. But I'm not going to take him at minus 1,000. I need, close to plus money or at least, minus 200 or something before I would touch him for a top 10. But just figured I'd throw that out there just in case anyone wants to make any adjustments because, it can go both ways. These guys that we're thinking will do well, if they qualify really good, the odds are going to drop, and that's why we recommend getting them in early. But then it could go in the opposite effect too. Is if someone has a bad qualifying effort, the odds might be further out, and you can get a better return. So it's always important to kind of keep track of where everything is after qualifying.
Hypothetically, if SVG were to qualify in the 20s, which I
Yeah.
mean most likely won't happen, but do you see his odds dropping?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think it'd be anything like crazy where it'd be like a plus 1,000 or anything, but I mean he's plus 140 right now. I could see it moving to maybe plus like 300 or something like that, like a little bit
Yeah.
of movement, but I don't think it's going to be anything drastic.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like you said earlier, I do really, I am skeptical of the Trackhouse speed right now, and
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if it's going to bleed over into the road courses. But we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. But I've got faith in SVG. He's so good, man, that I
Mhm.
think he can probably make up the difference. But at the same time, I mean, we saw firsthanded, at Coda, Reddick just motor by him, and there's only so much you can do if you don't have motor, right? So,
Mhm.
and Watkins Glen is it's a fast road course. It really is. So you need a good car. So,
Yeah.
anything else, Ross?
Not that I can think of. I think we hit every all the big points. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm definitely going to be watching post qualifying betting lines, and see if there's any plays for me. There might be a possible play on some sports books of maybe if you're really confident in SVG or Connor Zilic, you can stack them for all three races this weekend, one or the other,
Yeah,
or mix them up, whatever you think, and you might
sure.
get some better odds.
Yeah, I like it. Well, good luck to everybody out there. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of the Betcast, and we'll look forward to recapping everything Sunday evening for you guys. So kick back, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and all the wives, and appreciate everything you guys do. And looking forward to some Watkins Glen action this weekend.